This is what's at stake tonight, the Irish Cup. Larne or Linfield will earn the right to lift it. Linfield have won the trophy a record 43 times. Larne have never had their hands on this famous piece of silverware. Both teams booked their place in the final after a dramatic semi-final double-header 3 days ago.
Larne stabs it in and Crusaders are in front. Hale, something up for him here, he's driven it! Oh, it's an excellent goal! Blackie has been sent off. Hold on, was the keeper off his line? And the referee is going to order it to be retaken again. And Tuffy now has to be cautioned. And this is high drama, to say the very least. He's off, Johnny Tuffy has been sent off. And Thompson hits the crossbar, and Larne head to the final.
Following at the near post with the goal as Linfield score the opener. Could be an opportunity for Lavery, gets her ahead of Glendenning and doubles Linfield's lead. And it is 3. It's Shane Lavery once more at the double in the Cup semi-final.
Mornview Park in Lurgan is the venue again this evening. Larne manager Tiernan Lynch says his team have not been affected by the controversial Cup semi-final. Their opponents last Tuesday, Crusaders, lodged a protest claiming rules were breached during the penalty shootout, but that was dismissed today by the IFA. Linfield arrive here knowing they're on the verge of a league and cup double this season. Win tonight and David Healy's team could clinch the league title in 4 days' time. We've an intriguing, enjoyable night ahead. It's the first cup final outside Belfast since 1975 and it's live here on BBC Two. And for the first time this year, fans have been allowed to attend tonight's game. It's been a mammoth task and a fast turnaround to allow 1,000 people inside to experience the biggest showpiece in local football. COVID-19 tests for everyone pre-match and post-match have been mandatory to gain access. But for all these lucky supporters, the effort, no doubt, will be worth it. Well, good evening. Welcome to the Peaky Blinders Irish Cup final. It's certainly been a different competition this year. It only kicked off 3.5 weeks ago, but there have been plenty of twists and turns along the way. This game only got the go-ahead late this afternoon after Crusaders' protest about that semi-final penalty shootout defeat by Larne was dismissed. So it's game on. And I'm delighted to say, joining us this evening to give their expert analysis, former Northern Ireland international Stephen Cregan and the Ballymena United manager David Jeffrey. Great to see you both. David, this feels like a cup final for one reason. The fans are back and it's great to see.
Stephen, it's absolutely fabulous. You know, we have watched the games across the water when fans have been in, and we're hearing reactions from players, from referees saying how different it is, how they've got to get used to it again. You know, this is our showpiece here in Northern Ireland, and to have both sets of supporters being represented tonight is absolutely fantastic.
Stephen, has the controversy in the build-up to this game overshadowed the final, do you think?
I think now we're here, no. But there's no doubt over the past couple of days there's been a big distraction. I think there's been a cloud hanging over the local game. And I fully understand Crusaders' stance and the reason why they went to the measures they did. I can imagine all other clubs would have done so. But we have to remember tonight, it's such a big occasion. You know, the players probably won't publicly speak about it, but they're here. They want to win a trophy. It's a huge trophy. And it's a night for someone to be a hero and write their name into the history of their club.
David, you know all about the magic of the Cup. You lifted this trophy 7 times with your former club, Linfield. Just what does it mean to players, managers alike to win this competition?
It's the most fabulous of fabulous days, Stephen. I was never fortunate enough as a player ever to win the Irish Cup, but thankfully as manager of Linfield we were able to win 7, and it's a fantastic, it's a cracking day. It's a really big day out from getting the suits to going to the pre-match, to having the after party, to having all of your family and friends there. It is absolutely superb. You couldn't get a better day, and I was blessed, as I say, on a number of occasions of being able to enjoy it fully.
Stephen, Linfield no doubt the favourites tonight, but Larne have beaten them 3 times already this season.
Yeah, it's a funny mix coming into the game because I think the expectation is on Linfield to win. You know, their supporters, as David knows, demand they win major trophies. But Larne will have an inner belief that they can win tonight because they've beaten Linfield 3 times this year, because of their style of play, because of the journey they're on that Tiernan always talks about. And they arrive here today, six wins in the bounce. And they've been to Solitude, they've been to Seaview, they've been to Windsor Park and won. They've beaten Crusaders in the semi-final. So it's not been an easy run for them, but they've showed their mettle. But that doesn't count for anything tonight, Stephen. You have to go and deliver. I always say in the big occasion, the big players step up. So Tiernan Lynch will be looking around his dressing room and thinking, who's going to grab the game by the scruff of the neck and give us a real foothold?
Well, let's hear from the Larne manager, Tiernan Lynch. He's talking to Nicola McCarthy.
Tiernan, after the controversy of Tuesday, just what kind of impact has that had leading into the final today?
None. Our focus was very much on tonight, and our focus was very much on Linfield and preparing for tonight's game, and that's what we've done.
Looking at the squad, Jeff Hughes, the only player that was in that 2005 squad, how important is he to you, Tiernan?
Yeah, Jeff's massive. He's a Larne lad. He came back from England to come here and hopefully try and be part of a team that was going to challenge and win trophies and hopefully play European football. And I think if Jeff performs tonight, then we have as good a chance as any.
What would an Irish Cup mean, Tiernan, to Larne Football Club?
As I say, it would mean everything, Nicola. We're still very early in our journey, as we keep saying, but to try and do something like this so early in our journey, I think would be unbelievable for us and everybody involved with the club and the town, and it would be dream-making material.
Good luck, Tiernan. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Just how instrumental has Jeff Hughes been in the transformation of this football club? He played in the 2005 Cup final for Larne when they lost to Portadown.
I remember it very well, Stephen. Actually, I was co-commentating with the great and one and only Jackie Fullerton. And we see a young Jeff Hughes away back then. They did enjoy the best of days. Portadown were rampant, and I think they were on the receiving end of a 5-1 scoreline. But he went across to England and has put together a very impressive career. Not surprising that he came back home to his hometown with all of that knowledge, that experience, and still a hunger to succeed. He has done particularly well.
And I think he showed that on Tuesday night, just briefly, because he played at left back, he played left centre half, he played left of a midfield 3. So I think having that versatility means that Tiernan has the flexibility to chop and change his system if things aren't going well. Experience is huge, especially big nights like tonight. He's looking around calm and composed.
OK, let's hear from the Linfield manager, David Healy.
Your favourites going into the game, David. What have you learned from your defeats against Larne this season?
I thought Larne were favourites. They probably should be favourites. They've beaten us more than we've beaten them. They've beaten us this year. So I say sometimes losing to them last week might give us a little bit of an indicator to say that we need to be fully focused for the occasion tonight. It's an Irish Cup final. We're blessed. We're privileged, certainly me as a manager. We had a quick chat back at Windsor. The players are prepared. Stevie Fallon is out, unfortunately, through injury, which is a big blow to us, considering not only his performance on Tuesday, but just the level and his overall performance that he's given us throughout the year.
Thank you, David. Good luck.
All right, cheers, Nicola.
Stephen, you mentioned how important the big game players are. Jamie Mulgrew, the Linfield captain, playing in his 8th Cup final tonight.
Listen, you don't spend as long at a club like Linfield as Jamie has if you don't have the right mentality, you don't have the right characteristics. And I think more than anything, he sets example more often than not. He can explain to the young players what it means, the demands of this football club. And he's still at the top of his game. He's not playing, out of pure, just because of his age and because of his association with Linfield. He's playing because he's playing well. And you'd see him the other night, the driving force, snapping into tackles, carrying the young team forward. He's a terrific player.
Yes, 627th appearance tonight. Lots at stake for Linfield, David. 3 games left this season. They could win the double, or they could end up with nothing.
Lots of stake for both teams, Stephen. You just watched David's non-verbals there when Nicola said about Linfield being favourites. And I would agree with David because he wouldn't subscribe to that. This is a big night for both clubs. Seeing Linfield close up in the semi-final the other evening, they have got the bit between their teeth. The fact that Larne have had the upper hand will actually inadvertently be a help to Linfield. As for Larne, certainly they're on a journey, but you don't go with that amount of investment with not wanting something back from it. So to me, there are different types of pressure on both sets of sides tonight, and I'm just looking forward to a fantastic game of football.
Yes, Larne perhaps feeling the weight of expectation as well. Of course, they have never won the Irish Cup in the history of this football club. And it's time now to pause for the anthem. Well, Linfield have only lost one of their last 9 appearances in the Irish Cup final, but as we saw in Tuesday's semi-finals, anything can happen in Irish League football. It's time to join our commentary team, the 3-time Irish Cup winner with Glentoran, Paul Lehman, who's alongside our match commentator, Thomas Keane.
Thank you very much, Stephen. After 23 games in 23 days, it's the usual suspects, Linfield, against a club with history in their sights. Robinson and Watson both won this competition during their time with Linfield, while Martin Donnelly was part of the Crusaders side that lifted the cup in 2009. Dean Jarvis for Mark Randall is the only change. Ronan Hale has 5 goals in their 3 cup games. Only 3 of the Linfield starting lineup haven't won the cup. The trio of Pepper, Palmer and top goal scorer Lavery. Stephen Fallon is a huge loss with a hamstring injury. Clark replaces him with Quinn moving into midfield. Jamie Mulgrew is playing in his 8th decider. He already has 6 winners' medals. Our match referee is Andrew Davey. After all the controversy of this week, he'll be hoping for a relatively straightforward final. Paul Lehman, first of all, before we talk about the game, isn't it great to have fans back? The whole atmosphere here inside the ground at Mourneview.
Yeah, it's fantastic, Thomas. You know, the atmosphere that they're going to create tonight. I'm sure these players are just really looking forward to the game starting. The players will be buzzing just to be in an Irish Cup final, but to have the fans back tonight, you know, spurring their team on, creating that atmosphere, it's going to give the players an extra lift tonight. There's no doubt about that.
The first crowd at a local football game in 2021. The first crowd at a sporting fixture in 2021. And it's Larne who get underway. Predictably, after the drama of the other night, we're going to have the kick-off taken not once but twice. Ball near by Callagher. Soulé came across and clattered into Shane Lavery. The midfielder so important for Larne, really makes them tick. First touch for Conor Mitchell. He's had to be patient at Larne, but is making his 9th consecutive start after an injury to Conor Devlin. Cosgrove flew in and the match ball actually almost struck our monitor here in the stand.
Good for a tackle. Certainly got the crowd going early on, Thomas.
There's a real energy to the first minute of this game. A few tasty challenges flying in. And the first test for Pepper at right back. Picked up by Miller. And all the way back to Chris Johns, who won this trophy when with Korean a couple of seasons ago. Offside flag was up. What do you make of the way the two sides have set up, particularly Larne?
Yeah, just the most interesting thing I've noticed first of all for Larne is that Jarvis is, you know, he's looking to push on that left-hand side, and then Jeff Hughes is just dropping back in to cover in that position. So it's an interesting tactic, and it was something that Jeff Hughes did on Tuesday as well, as Stephen Craigan mentioned there in the build-up. He's got that flexibility to play in midfield, to play centre half and left back. So interesting early on to see Jarvis pushing forward, and then Hughes being that disciplined one and just sitting back in for him.
Might Larne fancy Jarvis up against Pepper?
Yeah, potentially that's an area that they might have looked at and think it's an area they might be able to exploit, that wide area against Pepper. And, we'll look to see that early on.
Tomas Cosgrove lost twice in the decider when he was at Cliftonville. Here is Mulgrew. Has more winners' medals than the entire Larne squad, and he's won an early free kick.
Yeah, he wins, so we see him winning so many of those types of free kicks. He's so strong running with the ball, Jamie Mulgrew, and early on he's showing for the ball. He wants to get in possession and get his team up the pitch, and wins the free kick there. And as you say, his Irish Cup medal collection is just ridiculous.
He's also been on the losing end against Glenavon a couple of seasons ago. And knowing Jamie, that's probably the one that he'd be reflecting on going into this game. Doesn't rest in his laurels, still really leads by example, both on and off the pitch at Windsor Park. Pepper forced it forward. First real involvement for Shane Lavery. He pulls it back. Opportunity for Linfield. Palmer was smothered by Mitchell. A good stop from the Larne goalkeeper. And the first big opportunity of this cup final.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity. Lavery does so well. He gets in between the two centre halves, cuts it back, and it's a big chance from Palmer. But credit to Mitchell, he gets off his line quickly. He senses the danger and he's able to make the save. But again, Lavery causing problems there already.
Cameron Palmer's made a huge impact since coming in January. It's going to be Miller towards Lavery. It's skidded off the head of the defender, and Linfield are piling on the pressure in the opening minutes.
It's really good play from Linfield. It's an excellent ball in from Kirk Miller again. I think it was Cosgrove at full stretch there, just to deflect it away for the corner again.
Quinn's come across to take the corner kick. Hockey and Callagher, the obvious aerial threats. Instead it's Lavery though, who simply can't stop scoring. Shane Lavery with yet another goal. It's his 30th of the season. And in the opening 4 minutes, it's the league leaders who take the lead. Guess who? Shane Lavery.
Yeah, he's in rich vein of form. It's a good ball in from Niall Quinn. We know he has that in his locker, but it's really poor marking from Larne. Look at Lavery, just finds himself in space inside the 6-yard box. He shouldn't really be getting that much time and space. Soulé seems to take his eye off it. Lavery has the space, and once he gets in there, he's never going to miss.
Linfield have a brilliant record in Irish Cup finals, and they've got off to the perfect start here. Had that huge opportunity moments earlier, but Shane Lavery, who's been in clinical form, has set David Healy's side on their way.
It's sort of in the build-up, I was thinking, if Larne can keep this man Lavery quiet, they'll have more of a chance. But he started the game so lively. We saw that chance he created for Palmer, and then the first chance of the game, he gets it and he puts it in the net.
The Northern Ireland striker scored in the opening round against Anna, had a hat-trick against Loughgall, 2 against Ballymena, and now he's struck in the final.
Yeah,
lax marking.
Yeah, Soulé seems to be on him. Before the corner's taken, Soulé seems to be on him. There's a little bit of movement. Soulé looks to go towards the ball. He gets dragged towards the ball, takes his eye off Lavery, misjudges it, and when he gets the opportunity, the ball's in the back of the net.
Lavery, flag isn't up. Can he keep it in play? Not quite. He's a real live wire, Shane Lavery, and he started with that characteristic energy here.
He leads the line so well, and Larne obviously are a team that like to pass the ball around the back, and he'll put their defenders under pressure when they're on the ball. He works so hard for the team, never mind his goals.
Linfield didn't have long to wait for the goal, but the supporters have been waiting a long, long time to cheer on their side. They appreciated that Lavery finish. Jarvis to Hughes, he's given it away. Hughes does well though to get there first, but I think Andrew Davey was playing advantage, and it's going to be another free kick for Linfield.
Yeah, the referee does well. He recognises a little foul there. Sule on Palmer, he lets play continue, but you know, Cooper can't win the ball and he brings it back. Good refereeing. But Larne look a little bit nervous early on. Thomas, their passing has been going astray. They just can't seem to get their foot in the ball. They just need to settle down a little bit and try and get some possession and try and get a bit of confidence in this game.
Hopeful ball from Hockey. And Cooper put Cosgrove under pressure, not sufficient though to win the corner kick. So this season, 5 games between the sides. Larne have won 3. There's been 1 draw and 1 victory for Linfield. The most recent match, of course, was last Saturday when a late Josh Robinson winner claimed all 3 points at Windsor Park. No doubt that will have been mentioned in David Healy's pre-match team talk. Matthew Clark came into the starting lineup in place of Fallon. Player with such experience, the left back. Another tester for Watson, who is claiming the final touch was off Lavery, and that's exactly what you were referring to moments ago, Paul. The pressure with which Lavery puts the defenders under.
Yeah, he's doing so well, but they're doing it. They're pressing together as a team. You know, the 2 midfielders, Quinn and Palmer, are not letting Sule and Hughes settle on the ball either. So they're pressing all together in little packs, and they just haven't let Larne settle into this game at all.
Cooper won this competition with Glenavon back in 2016 when they actually defeated Linfield in the final. Over the head of Dom. Clark to Cooper. Mulgrew flies in. Now it's Lynch. Donnelly. Again, it's a direct ball forward for Hale. Come out with relative ease by the Linfield backline. Supporters are kicking every ball, heading every ball. They've missed this match day experience. Another look here at the goal.
Yeah, he seems to it seems to come off his knee. He sort of flicks.
Doesn't matter how they go in cup finals, Paul.
He flicks at it. You know, it's not the cleanest of finishes, but as you say, he won't care. You know, he's in there, he's in the 6-yard box, and you know he's not going to miss from there. He's in such good form, Lavery, and he started this game excellently.
Even a little celebration from David Healy, who's normally poker-faced in the dugout. He knows how significant that early strike could prove to be. Matthew Clark just slowing things down. Signed a new contract recently with the Windsor Park Club, having joined back in 2013. Mulgrew just saw a little gap between 2 players and unable to find a teammate, but unsurprisingly Mulgrew looks up for it.
Yeah, he started the game really, really well. There's several Linfield players look really up for it, none more so than Jamie Mulgrew. You know, the leader of this team, and he's certainly so far he's took it by the scruff of the neck in the midfield area.
How significant will that defeat have been last week against Larne in terms of the build-up to this one, when you know you've a chance almost instantly to get revenge?
Yeah, you know, the thing about it is Linfield don't know Larne are capable of beating them, so they know they have to be on top of their game to beat this Larne side, you know, in a major cup final here. So David Healy, you know, it's extra motivation. They beat them last week, you know, as if they needed more motivation to be up for a cup final. That's probably given them that, and you know, they've started this game brilliantly.
Pepper out of position momentarily, but he's recovered and looks like he's going to clear this one up. Wins a throw-in the process.
Yeah, but we're used to seeing Larne building the play up from the back, playing it through midfield into the strikers. They haven't been able to do that. 12 minutes into the game, they haven't really had any period of possession in the game, and that's very unlike them.
Is that as much down to Larne as it is down to Linfield, or vice versa?
Yeah, I think, as I mentioned earlier on, Linfield are working so hard to try and stop them from playing, so you've got to give them credit. But to me, Larne looked a little bit nervous early on, and they need more people showing for the ball, perhaps. They need more people to really step up and take responsibility. Again, Stephen Cregan talked about it before the game. You need your big players to step up, and Larne need that now.
Jarvis, plenty of bodies in the middle. Hale got there first, went down under the challenge of hockey. Referee was well positioned and shook his head. Cosgrove. Watson, again, Lavery comes across and forces the error.
Again, it's superb from Lavery, closing down, not giving him any time on the ball. You see this.
Here's a look at the penalty appeal.
No, he just basically stumbles over the ball. There's absolutely nothing in that one.
Lavery wins it in the air, but it's forced forward subsequently by Hughes. As Johns switches it across, looking for Miller. Lynch playing just in behind Hale as Palmer tries to clear. Soulé flew in, and well, it's going to be quite the battle between that pair. Quinn, that's great vision if he can pick out the run of Cooper, but it's Cosgrove well positioned who finds his goalkeeper. You mentioned nerves, but it's been a really energetic start from both sides, despite the busy schedule in the semi on Tuesday.
Yeah, there's a real high tempo to the game. Certainly Linfield have been the better team early on, but there's a real high tempo to the game overall, and that's what we want to see. High energy, high tempo, and a really good game. And I think the crowd being in and the atmosphere is definitely helping that.
We saw it in the cup final over in England when Leicester City played against Chelsea. Wembley was, I think, a fifth full, but it felt like a full house. It's a similar kind of atmosphere here inside Mourneview as Callagher made a mistake but recovered very well with Donnelly breathing down his neck.
Yeah, he just took a little loose touch there and it looked like Donnelly was going to get in, but Callagher recovered the situation. But Larne just having a little bit more territory, further forward than what they had done in the first sort of 12 minutes of this game.
It's Larne's 6th cup final. They've lost 4 of them 1-0. The last was the game against Portadown that we showcased before this fixture. 5-1 defeat that day as David Healy just makes a few slight adjustments from the dugout. He's been involved in so many big games down through the years. Won this trophy, of course, against Coleraine in 2017, the last time the Belfast club claimed this trophy. Recycled by Pepper to Miller. Again, Cooper was a target, just nodded back to the goalkeeper Mitchell Lowe via Cosgrove. Miller finds Lavery. Robinson quickly across, throw into Linfield.
Yeah, it's a good tackle. We see it again, but the ball comes out from Connor Mitchell to Josh Robinson, and he's looking for the short ball, but there's no one showing for him. Linfield are pressing them, and he's forced to play it long, and that's playing in the Linfield hands for Hockey and Callagher to come through and win the balls in the air against Hale, where it's not really Hale's strength. So Larne say they need to get more people showing for the ball, get their key players on the ball, making things happen for them.
Jarvis is unable to keep it in play, and it's going to be a throw-in on the far side. Actually, it may well be it's a corner kick over in the far side. I think Pepper thought it was a throw-in initially and then decided to leave it for Niall Quinn. Quinn's at 6 goals already this season, provided plenty of assists as well, as Palmer joins Hockey and Gallagher. Again, it's a decent ball in, this time towards the near post. Cooper trying to use his body. Lifted in again by Quinn, right on top of the goalkeeper, and an easy take for Mitchell.
Yeah, again, dangerous deliveries. Quinn, you know, we know about Miller's delivery from the other side, but Quinn, you know, in swinging corners from that right-hand side, and that time it was Hale with a really good header just to clear the danger.
Such an asset to Linfield, and David Healy puts so much work on the training ground in regard to set pieces. Lynch. A little bit short, but picked up by Sule. Just glanced up at the clock. It's set. First 17 minutes is going by in an instant. Jarvis finds Heron. He on the turn. Didn't really connect with it. Ronan Hale. Scuffed effort in the end, and a comfortable stop for Chris Johns.
Yeah, it's a better play from Larne. John Heron just finds himself in that little pocket of space, and he plays a nice little ball into Hale, and he's just looking to turn, get the shot away early, but you know, it's never going to beat Johns. It's a comfortable save for Johns, but it's better play from Larne.
Hale scored twice against Linfield so far this season, and Gallagher ensured that he didn't have another opportunity in that last attack.
It's great defending there from Gallagher.
It's been a relentless 18.5 minutes so far. If you're just joining us, Shane Lavery's goal separates the sides. An early close-range finish from the Northern Ireland striker. Palmer looks for the pace of Lavery once again. Miller's come along. Mitchell come a long way off his line, and the trio of Larne players just about did enough. Lovely little bit of skill from Jarvis. So. Hockey wins a challenge and also wins a throw-in.
That's better from Larne. You see the opportunity here. Albert Watson does brilliant. I don't think the keeper's necessarily going to get there.
He's kind of found himself in no man's land.
It looks to me like he's not going to get there, and you know, Lavery's going to win that race between himself and the goalkeeper. But Albert Watson uses all his experience, gets across there and clears the danger. That was an important moment there for Larne.
Albert Watson has been pivotal to Larne's defensive unit throughout the season. Almost 500 games in local football. Won the league and cup with Linfield back in 2012. It was a final win over Crusaders on that occasion. Has played in Iceland and Canada since then, and had to be alert to ensure that Lavery didn't nip in between Robinson and the goalkeeper.
He did really well, and it was, as I say, it was important for Larne. You know, they could have fell 2-0 behind there, but the last few minutes they've just started to get on the ball a little bit more and caused Linfield a few more problems.
A little bit of keep ball between Sule and Lynch. Here is Jeff Hughes, turns 36 in the final day of the season. How he would love to win the cup with his boyhood club. His second spell, of course, is this time Mitchell just leaves it, and again Lavery trying to get past Robinson. Such a handful, the goal score.
Yeah, we see there Marty Donnelly dropping deep to get on the ball, but again they're pressing him so aggressively, just not giving him any space, time and space to play.
Lynch claims that he got the ball. Referee decided otherwise. Approaching the midway point of this first half. Another opportunity for Linfield from a set piece as Quinn comes across to take it. Lynch. Back to Watson, who was under pressure from guess who? Shane Lavery.
Yeah, again, he's got no other choice there. Lavery's putting him under so much pressure, and he's no choice but to just clear the ball, and it's gone out of play. And
how frustrating will that be from Larne's point of view? Because we've praised him on so many occasions throughout this season about the way they do like to play out from the back. It's a very brave approach. They just haven't been able to do so this evening.
No, they haven't, and you know, such has been the work rate, the work ethic of Linfield. They haven't allowed them to settle. They've had a better period in the last 10 minutes, but overall Linfield haven't let them settle into their natural game. But we're all used to see them playing, so credit to Linfield. But you know, in order to stop Larne from playing that game, Linfield have had to put in so much effort, so much energy, and it's whether or not they can do that, you know, for the 90 minutes.
It's the first ever cup final here at Mourneview, the 138th Irish Cup final. Tiernan Lynch has won this competition before, was involved in the backroom team at Glentoran when the East Belfast club claimed the trophy twice. There's a shot of the fans. A lot of work has gone in behind the scenes involving the IFA, the Department of Communities, the PSNI, the Northern Ireland Executive, the ABC Council, and also Glenavon Football Club to ensure that this would happen this evening with up to 1,000 fans. Another tester for Robinson as Mitchell comes across and the ball runs out of play.
And again, he's heavily involved again, Lavery. You know, they're looking for that little run from him in between the centre halves. He's causing all sorts of problems when he gets into those areas.
He's a local boy. Started his career here with Glenavon, made his debut at this ground just short of his 16th birthday before joining up with Everton. David Healy has publicly said that he doesn't expect the Northern Ireland striker to be at Linfield next season. He's out of contract as the ball's played through to heel, closed down by Pepper. There's speculation that Lavery may well be heading for England. A couple of clubs linked with him, Blackpool and Accrington, two of them.
Good play there from Larne. Thomas, one of the rare occasions you're able to build it out from the back. Albert Watson plays it through to Cosgrove, and Cosgrove to Donnelly. Nice little ball, and again Hale looking dangerous when they actually can get him making those runs. He looks dangerous trying to get him between the centre halves again.
Donnelly towards the near post. It was Hughes flying in, and Larne are adamant that it should be another corner kick. Eventually the decision is given. Took a while.
I think it was Niall Quinn. Yeah, he didn't know anything about it. Kurt Miller's just sort of headed the ball on to Niall Quinn.
So another chance for Martin Donnelly. One of the first signings at Larne when Tiernan Lynch took over. Again, it's towards the near post. Again, it's flicked on by Hughes, and I think it was Robinson who considered gambling at the back post. Didn't quite get there, but two similar corner kicks from Larne.
Yeah, it's a good delivery from Donnelly. Nice little glance on from Jeff Hughes, and there's Josh Robinson. He realises if he had a gambled, as you say, he might have just got on the end of that. But again, it's better from Larne. It was a good build-up play and a good chance, you know, before they won the corner, and that you know, that will give them some encouragement, because you know it was all Linfield certainly for the first 20 minutes of this game.
That chance will certainly encourage Tiernan Lynch and his management team. As Conor Pepper slowly makes his way up to take this throw in. Linfield under no real pressure, having taken the lead early on through Shane Lavery in the first 5 minutes. Palmer. Away by Jarvis and then headed on by Pepper. Touch from Palmer, forced it forwards. He felt he should have had a free kick, but it's Larne who play on. Cosgrove dispossessed by Cooper. Super challenge from him. Still Joel Cooper. Waits for options. Clark is there, but his cross is blocked, and it's an opportunity for Larne on the counter-attack. Again, it's Cooper who comes across.
It's great work from Cooper again. You know, we know Joel Cooper is an out-and-out attacking player, but you know, we see another side to his game there, not just once but twice, working so hard, working back to win the ball for his team.
It was right in front of the Linfield supporters, and they certainly appreciated that challenge. Cooper, who'll be heading back to Oxford United next season. They're in playoff action this evening. Currently down after the first leg against Blackpool, but Cooper was certainly in a battle between 3 or 4 clubs, Larne being one of them, to join on loan in January. Linfield won that race, and certainly he is impressed in the second half of the season before going back to Oxford ahead of the next campaign. There's the movement from Heron. Cosgrove closed down by Cooper. Soulé won it in the air, and Gallagher just plays it forward under no real pressure, and it's not a back into the hands of Mitchell. As you say, Paul, it's a little bit more structured and better for Larne. They're starting to see those lines and those spaces with Soulé getting a little bit more involved.
Yeah, they're starting to have more possession in the game. This man Lynch, he's dropping a little bit deeper to get on the ball, but he's making himself available, and that's giving opportunities then and creating space for others around him too. So it's better. It is better from Larne.
Were you surprised not to see McMurray start, given the impact he made in the second half?
Yeah, possibly. He did come on, and the tactical change that Tiernan Lynch made it probably changed the game in Larne's favour. So for McMurray, he'll probably be disappointed he didn't start tonight. But Tiernan's gone with this team, and he trusts it, and Linfield have probably had the better start, but Tiernan's got to trust his team and trust his lineup that over the 90 minutes they can get the job done for him.
Another corner kick for Linfield. Apologies for any offensive language picked up by our microphones. Once more, it's 4 or 5 Linfield players in that huddle, as you can see, just in and around the penalty spot, ready to make their move. Lavery right on top of the goalkeeper. Here it comes. It was Cosgrove this time who got it away. Again, a wicked delivery from Niall Quinn. Back in once more, but nobody's there. It actually hit off the goalkeeper's back, I think. And he was slightly fortunate not to see that end up in the back of his own net.
He seems to completely misjudge it. Like, he just turns his back. That could have gone anywhere. Could have gone into the net. I don't know what the goalkeeper's doing there.
Well, we can see what he was trying to do. I think he felt that was going to drift over the far post and out for a goal kick, but Connor Mitchell's fortunate that didn't end up on the back of his own net, and Larne 2 down. Cooper switched across to the right side as he's tracked by Heron again. Cooper flies in. A few tasty challenges all over the pitch. I think it's resulted in a throw-in.
Yeah, he's shown a few studs there. He does win the ball, but he's shown a few studs there. And normally referees don't like those type of challenges.
Jarvis. Nice little bit of skill just to drag it back, but he can't pick out a teammate. As Clark fires it forward.
Yeah, it was a nervous moment there from the goalkeeper, wasn't it? And if you're Linfield, the next couple of opportunities you get from set pieces, you're going to be putting the ball on top of the goalkeeper again.
There's a little bit of a breeze here, but certainly not one to sufficiently move the ball by that amount. I think it was just a misjudgment more than anything else from Mitchell, who spent 6 months at Linfield. Played 3 games during that time. Gallagher dispossesses heel and charges forward with purpose. Soulé did very well, and it's Hughes in the follow-up, but Gallagher held on to it, and now it's across to Palmer. Miller wants it. 2 or 3 Linfield players in the middle, and well, that's not what you'd expect from Kirk Miller in that type of position.
Well, Gallagher does brilliant. He's too strong for Hale, wins the ball off Hale, and then he evades 2 or 3 more challenges from Larne players, wins the ball for Linfield. It's a good ball out to the right-hand side from Palmer, and you expect Kirk Miller, with the quality that he has in the wide area, to deliver the ball into the mirror, and it's a disappointing cross from him.
2 or 3 Linfield players queuing up in the middle. Good pressure from Pepper, who's continued his run. Cooper's made a good run, so too is Lavery at the near post. Could fall for Cooper, who's doubled Linfield's lead. Mitchell unable to keep it out. And Linfield make it 2. Joel Cooper celebrates in front of the fans. Pepper heavily involved.
Cooper does brilliantly when Pepper gets to the line. You know, he looked up and there was only really one person in the box, Lavery, but Cooper really puts on the afterburners to get into the box to try and make that support and run. And when he gets in there, he gets on the end of it, gets a shot back across the goal. The goalkeeper's trying to keep it out, but he's moving across and it comes off him. He just can't keep it out. But credit to Cooper. Look, we see he runs from deep and he gets there before Cosgrove and he gets that little bit of luck for the endeavour of trying to get into the box.
Our 18-yard cameras showcasing that run of Joel Cooper. His shot had just too much on it for Mitchell. And there still might be an hour to go, but Larne could find that they've got a mountain to climb. Mulgrew to Callagher. Miscue clearance from him as Robinson gets his head on it. Albert Watson under no real pressure just brings it out, and Larne will hope to hold on to the ball. That second goal will have come as a hammer blow after they started to get back into the game, as Cooper, who looks bang up for this one, dispossesses Donnelly. The Larne man felt he was fouled as Miller holds on to the ball, and now it's back with Heron. Clark comes across. Mulgrew.
Again, we talked about earlier, the real intensity, a real tempo about this game, and you know, that second goal's give Linfield a lift, it's give their fans a lift, and they're working tremendously hard again.
Well, Tiernan Lynch will be thinking, how does he get his players to settle? Because they're not being given a moment, they're not being able to find their rhythm at all. Even that pass is a risky one. How have Linfield managed to get to every single second ball? Is it a case of energy? Is it a case of desire? Is it a case of luck? What is it, Paul?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, the other night, they just looked as if they were bang up for the game against Ballymena. And I can see the same again today. That real hunger, desire, and that real energy just to get about Larne, to stop them from playing, and to force their game on the Larne. Normally, it's Larne who are forcing their style of play on the other teams. Linfield are forcing their style of play today on Larne.
Celebrations in the stands, celebrations in the dugout.
Yeah, Cooper did so well. You know, we tracked his run right from the edge of the box. There was only one man in the box for Pepper, but Cooper, credit to him, you know, he made that extra energy count to get into the box, and you know, he got his reward at the end of it. Goalkeeper will think he was a little bit unlucky not to keep it out, but you know, credit to Cooper for the desire that he showed to get into the box.
And a little message for someone at home from Joel Cooper with the heart straight down the lens of the camera. And the goalkeeper will be broken-hearted when he looks back on that second goal. Will feel it really could have been avoided. But Larne are very capable of getting back into this game. Haven't really worked Chris Johns in the opening 35 minutes.
And I think Tiernan Lynch has shown, obviously, in the semi-final, he's not going to wait about to make substitutions. He made the sub at half-time with Johnny McMurray on Tuesday, and you know, they find themselves 2-0 down here, and he might look to make an early substitution, maybe a half-time substitution again to try and change this game around for Larne.
Mulgrew works back. Well, Tiernan Lynch has got the likes of Davy McDade and Johnny McMurray, two striking options on the bench. Plenty of firepower at his disposal, as well as the likes of Mark Randall. There he is, just telling his players to calm down a little bit. No doubt will have been shell-shocked by that start from David Healy's side and Shane Lavery's early goal. Quinn. Callagher battling with Watson and Robinson, and Watson got on each other's way. As Lavery battles with Cosgrove, lovely bit of skill from Cooper. He was overzealous in the challenge. Cosgrove came across, and I don't think there was too much in that. A smile from Joel Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper's just, his confidence is sky high now. Look at him trying this little flick through the legs. And it looks as if Cosgrove's holding him back. You know, we see it here, the little nutmeg. You know, and he's looking to get on the end of that little nutmeg. And for me, Cosgrove's holding him back, and he should get the free kick there.
Well, Joel Cooper was brought into the Northern Ireland squad in September by Ian Barclough after that good start from whilst at Oxford. Didn't get an opportunity to take the pitch, but there is a real feeling that if he can kick on at Oxford next season, that he could be back in Barclough's plans moving forward. Sule to Watson. Can Larne hit back before half-time and find a way back into this game? Here's Donnelly, who certainly is capable of doing that. Lynch might have a go himself. He's a little bit too predictable and blocked by Palmer. Tomas Cosgrove. And a challenge from Cooper came in on Heron, who's hurt himself in the process. We've mentioned it on a number of occasions, just as we look at John Heron following that Cooper challenge. But so often we think of Joel Cooper when it comes to incredible goals and assists. He's been putting himself about tonight.
Yeah, he's working tirelessly, you know, on this left-hand side. We know the attacking threat that he possesses, but as I said earlier, he's shown another side to his game. And it's really, you know, most of the Linfield players are doing similar. You know, they're all up for it. They're closing down so early. And, you know, the last 15 minutes of this game, he's typified that. He's been better than anyone, probably, you know, on the ball and off the ball, winning tackles, you know, getting his team up the park. He's been superb. And, you know, unfortunately, Heron's come off, you know, worse out of that challenge there. But again, Cooper working so hard to win the ball back and showing his all-round game.
Smiles all round from the Linfield fans and that young supporter. A little bit nervy, though, from those in red and white as Heron receives treatment. I'm not sure if it was a trailing leg of Cooper that caused the problem. Let's look at the goals again. Here's the first one. Shane Lavery finds space in the 6-yard box and doesn't miss opportunities like that. Pepper pulled it back. Lavery couldn't get there, but Cooper could. That's been the story of the first half.
And the two goal scorers have been outstanding in this first half, and you know, I've been impressed with the job that Cammy Palmer has done on Sule, and Quinn's trying to stop Jeff Hughes from playing. So you got to give Linfield credit.
Heron's really struggling here. He's up on his feet, but doesn't look that comfortable. A player who started the last 20 games for Larne. Dialogue going on between Tiernan Lynch and Tim McCann. They'll be eager to get an update from their medical team to see if he can continue. The referee wants Tomas Cosgrove to get play back underway. Heron's still off the pitch. Watson clears, Heron's back. As Lynch trying to link up with Heel. Robinson to Hughes. Made his debut 18 years ago at Windsor Park as a teenager, Jeff Hughes. Had such a fine career in England as he tries to come across, but instead it's worked out for Pepper. Hughes took a little bit of a risk there.
Yeah,
but it's a Larne free kick.
I think to be fair to Jeff Hughes, he's captain of the team. He is leading by example here. His team are 2-0 down. He's certainly not hiding. He's looking for the ball. He's trying to rally the troops around him to try and make something happen for Larne. And that's so important to see from your captain.
He was a real model professional over in England, and he's made such an impact on and off the pitch since coming back to his hometown club. Very versatile, has played a number of different positions, and as you say, Paul, will want to show all that experience and try and get his side back in this game.
Yeah, I think Larne will know that they need to get the next goal in this game. It's so important for them to get that goal, and because if Linfield get it, it's very much game over, I would feel.
Here is Hughes. Look down his line, trying to link up with Jarvis. Has found his way through to the left back. Lynch has made a run into the middle, but it's Miller back helping out the defence, who gets it away. Hughes once more to Donnelly. Sule. Passing just hasn't been as crisp as we've come to expect from Larne.
No, they had the opportunity there just to, maybe build up the attack a little bit quicker, but that loose pass, it slows everything down and allows Linfield to get back into their shape again.
Swept across to Jarvis. Miller battling with him. Kept in play by Jarvis, who looks for support. Sule. To Kosdrov. This is better from Larne, but they're not making too much headway. It's going to be a Linfield throw-in. Heron sandwiched between the combination of Callagher and Mulgrew.
Yeah, it's a good run from Heron. He's making that third-man run from midfield, but Mulgrew's tracking him, and Callagher also senses the danger, and between the two of them, they've snuffed out the danger, and there's only going to be one winner there, and that was Jim Callagher.
Tactically in the first half, Linfield have got it right.
Yeah, they've been excellent. They've won the battle all over the park. They've contained Larne to very few opportunities. Very little territory.
Cooper goes in the chase. This time, Robinson's taking no chances.
And one thing Linfield are good at, when they get ahead, they're good at managing the game, and they're taking their time over things now. They'll want to see this through to half-time with a 2-0 lead, regroup, not want to give anything away, before half-time.
.30 seconds of normal time remaining in this first half. Clark to Mulgrew. As we await the officials' board over on the far side. Linfield are going to have another throw-in. Can they find a third in first half injury time? Clark surrounded by two Larne players. And the numerical advantage paid off as the fourth official raises his board, suggesting that there will be 2 additional minutes at the end of this first half. Sule. Looks for options up ahead, instead it's forced back to Robinson. Hughes. You see the pressure being put so high up by Linfield in the press.
Yeah, it's been
Larne
excellent.
pinned back. But Robinson does well to find Jarvis. It's a hopeful ball looking for Heel, but a little drag back on the striker. Will give Larne the final opportunity you would expect of this first half. David Healy wasn't happy with the decision, but I'm sure he'll be happy with what he's witnessed in the opening 45 minutes.
It's an opportunity for Larne here just before half-time. You see Robinson going up, Watson going up. Can they get a decent ball in here on top of Linfield and try and create something before half-time?
Well, a goal here would completely change the complexion you would expect of Larne's half-time team talk, as Johns comes for it and claims it. Exactly what you want your goalkeeper to do in a situation like that, Paul.
Yeah, it's excellent goalkeeping. There's maybe a little bit too much height on the delivery. it gives the goalkeeper the opportunity to come and claim it. But, you know, credit to Johns, when you're going to come off your line, you've got to make sure you make it, and he does it.
Final few seconds of this first half as Soulé wins it in the air. Scuff clearance from Hughes. Palmer. Has certainly got through a lot of dirty work in this first half as the roar from the Linfield supporters gives you an idea how it's gone for David Healy's side in the first half. Shane Lavery opened the scoring early on from close range before Joel Cooper doubled that advantage. It's Linfield in the driving seat. The 43-time winners are 2 up at the break. Larne 0, Linfield 2.
Well, Linfield very much in the driving seat. Stephen Cregan and David Jeffrey have been enjoying what's been a cracking cup final. And Stephen, a very impressive performance by Linfield.
I've got to say, they were out of the trap sharp. They really had so much intensity to their play. The bond between the players and the supporters, every tackle was met with a cheer, every challenge, every header, everything really drove them on. And I think that set the tone for Linfield. And I think it actually spooked Larne a little bit because they were still trying to play the normal game and Linfield weren't letting them breathe. That midfield area, which was always going to be vital when you look at Palmer and Quinn and Mulgrew up against Soulé, Jeff Hughes started in there, as well as John Heron. Whoever was to get the better of that battle was going to give their team a real foothold in the game, and Linfield have absolutely dominated and blown Larne away.
Yeah, what else do you think has been the key to Linfield's dominance in that first half, David?
Well, first off, just to follow on from what Stephen has said, and Paul mentioned it in commentary, has been intensity. And Brian and McLaughlin and I, when we were sort of analysing our game against Linfield, Brian said, you know, David, from -1 to +94, Linfield were on it. They were at it right from the get-go. There's a couple of areas in particular, and one player who we haven't mentioned an awful lot is young Cameron Palmer, who has been instrumental in closing down Food Soulé so many times. Add to that the top 3 defensively, Miller, Lavery and Cooper. Their work rate has been phenomenal. They haven't given Larne a minute to settle. It has been most impressive. And it's not so much that Larne has been poor. Linfield have just been excellent.
And Larne have been finding it difficult how to deal with Shane Lavery. His pace has been causing them all sorts of problems.
Well, I think in the early part of the game, he was the one that set the standard. His willingness to run in behind, the run across the line. I mean, it's a terrific goal from him, but Soulé gets lost. He gets caught getting dragged towards the ball. And they concede a goal in a major cup final within your own 6-yard box when somebody kicks it in or attempts to kick it in from a corner kick. That tells you there's something not right within it. So Soulé, he's in and around the goalkeeper, David. He gets caught up trying to push.
Well, the thing about it, Stephen, if we get to see this back again, this is such clever play. In modern football, they're always trying to block the goalkeeper. Soulé's actually trying to protect his goalkeeper, and he's concentrating on that. But this is a little diversion, so it is. Just watch how clever he is. Soulé's holding on to him. Look, he's saying, referee, what's going on here? Why is he holding on to me? He just spins away. Soulé's caught ball watching. Doesn't matter how it goes in. It's like, would it come off his knee? Like it's not the prettiest of goals. But in terms of football, that is absolutely excellent. As I say, he's looking to distract the goalkeeper. Soulé's looking to protect his goalkeeper. Soulé goes forward. Lavery's very clever. Comes to the back. 1-0 Linfield.
And from
Brilliant.
that moment on, Linfield just grew. You know, their fans became nausea. The atmosphere went up, and suddenly you were seeing a team who are used to winning trophies, a team who have won trophies time after time, and this is where the experience comes in, and they start ramming it home.
Yeah, 30 goals for the season for their top goal scorer, Shane Lavery. So that was 1-0, and Joel Cooper, who has been thriving in this occasion tonight, made it 2.
Well, the one thing I've got to say, and Joel in particular, has been his work rate off the ball. He has been flying in with tackles. But here's a great ball in by Pepper. Joel comes in at the back post. There's maybe a question mark over Connor Mitchell, you know, just the way he's rushing to get across. That'll not matter to Joel Cooper. As I say, great ball in. He worked so very hard. And here's the thing we didn't pick out. We didn't see the intensity, Stephen, the intensity of Cooper looking to get there. Tomas Kovro, and he's saying to his keeper, what's going on? You've got to go with your runners. Cooper wanted it more, and then he had the little bit of fortune, and the ball ends up in the back of the net.
Do you know where it comes from? Larne trying to play it from back, which is fine. That's what they do. But because they're so expansive, when Linfield win the ball back, Larne are all spread out, and Joel Cooper manages to play in between the right centre half and Cosgrove, and that's the gap that he goes and exploits.
And as you say, David, so much more to Joel Cooper's game tonight. He's been physical.
Well, he's been very physical, you know, and this is the impressive thing. You always put maybe physicality down to sort of bigger players.
Skillful too, as well as physical.
Well, he's incredibly skillful, absolutely fantastic. But look at the tackles that he's making. We're going to have a little montage here. Look, Marty Donnelly's just putting his head up. What does Cooper do? Does he stay in the box? No, he doesn't. He gets after it. He wins the tackle, knocks it off. And I've got to say, Andrew Davey, to be fair to him, he's refereeing it well. Because in this day and age, and you know, Stephen, before I'd say about the physicality being taken out of the game, here's another challenge. And to be fair to him, you've seen maybe a free kick given for that. You were calling for it, Mr. Watson. But to me, that was just an aggressive attempt to win the ball, and he wins it. Look, wins it.
Do you know what? You know you're in a good place when your wingers are making tackles, when your wingers are tracking back. You know the message you've given your players ahead of the game has been taken on board. Kirk Miller's been a little bit quieter, but Joel Cooper, along with Shane Lavery and Cammy Palmer, Jamie Mulgrew, they've been snapping into tackles because they know if you allow Larne time in possession, time to build a play, they will dominate the game, and they haven't been allowed to do that.
Stephen, I think they've learnt the lesson in Linfield, because when we did the game down at Inver early the season,
ahead of Christmas,
and Linfield sat off, they let them pass them to death. Eventually they ended up winning, and we couldn't understand why Linfield were sitting back off. Tonight they're certainly not.
And that is an example how Linfield have not let Larne get into the rhythm tonight.
No, and you can't allow them to, because they've got far too many good players, and I think they've taken them out of their comfort zone. It's a little bit. I mean, Albert Watson's kicked the ball out of the park, I think 3 or 4 times, which is really unusual. And that comes from pressure. That comes from lifting his head, expecting to see a simple pass, and a blue jersey has went and closed it down. Shane Lavery's putting them under pressure. So they have to find a level of composure at half-time. Kiernan changed the game on Tuesday night. He brought on Johnny McMurray at half-time. He needs to make a tactical change to get his side back into this game. Paul said it in commentary. If it goes 3-0, it's game over.
Connor Mitchell has made one good save, and one he quite didn't know about.
Yeah, to be fair to him, you know, he made a very good save. We were just, giving them loads of praise for that. We'll see it coming up. We'll see Pepper knocks the little ball down the line. Lavery, as always, ever willing. This is the first couple of minutes, and this is Cameron Palmer, and that was a fantastic save. As I say, good ball in by Lavery. Palmer's coming onto it, and he's out very quickly, very, very bravely, and makes a great stop.
But you know what? The other night against your side, Ballymena, David, it was Stephen Fallon who was making those runs into the box. So suddenly when you lose someone of that ilk, there has to be a responsibility on Niall Quinn and on Cammy Palmer to get in. And that was, I tell you what, he's lucky boy there. He's lucky.
We actually, for the folks who are watching, we didn't know what was going on, because we like Connor Mitchell. No, we took our eye off the ball. And what we were told as youngsters, never take your eye off the ball. So, Connor, we can empathise with you because we didn't know what happened because we took our eye off the ball. But that could have been embarrassing.
Well, you can speak for yourself, Dale.
Mr. Perfect.
You two argue amongst yourselves there, and we will hear the thoughts of Sean Ward, who's pitch side with Nicola.
Yes, Stephen, a man who knows a thing or two about winning this trophy, having won the Irish Cup 3 times with 3 different clubs. Sean, thank you for joining me. Very much advantage Linfield at the break. Sean, just your first half thoughts.
Yeah, I think that Linfield have just been relentless from the very off. Larne, naturally a very possession-based side. Linfield very much in their faces from the start, pressed very, very high, forced errors, forced mistakes, and have come in now 2 goals to the good, and to be honest, look very comfortable.
You're part of our Radio Ulster commentary team, showing up in the stands beside the fans. It's a very high-tempo game. What impact and influence have the fans had on that, do you think?
It's been outstanding. You can feel the energy, you can feel the enthusiasm in the stands. You can hardly hear yourself on the microphone, even though there's only 1,000 here.
it's magnificent that the fans get the opportunity to be back at football. I'm very lucky and privileged, and hopefully this is signs of things to come.
Shane Lavery with the first goal. Sean, how difficult is it to play against that man?
Yes, Shane has been exceptional for Linfield. 30 goals this year. They'll possibly lose him, whether they do or not. Works tirelessly hard, chases balls in the channels, makes bad balls into good balls. Such a good athlete, and he has been pivotal for everything good Linfield have done this season.
Joe Cooper also made his impact on the game in more ways than one. Sean, we've seen a montage of Joe at half-time here. What makes him so special?
I would say that every manager before every game emphasises the importance to keep Joe Cooper quiet, and it sounds very easy and very simple, but Joe Cooper is a magnificent Irish League footballer who has a massive future ahead of him. When he develops that inner anger, he gets the ball, he runs at you, he's relentless and he constantly goes at you. You'll tackle him all day, but he'll just keep going. He's strong, he's pacey, and he has so much quality.
As well as that, Linfield have prevented Larne from playing the game. They enjoy playing on the ground, playing out from the back. What do they need to do?
They need to do something different. On Tuesday, Tiernan made a change very quickly at half-time. He brought Johnny McMurray on, a focal point for a centre-forward. I don't think they have that today. Tiernan has no problem in making the decisions, and it's not my decision to make for him. But he'll be talking with his backroom staff. They'll make decisions, because I think at this moment in time something needs to change, because it's been far too comfortable for Linfield.
Thank you, Sean. Back to you, Stephen.
Thanks, Nicola.
Stephen, what have you made of the way Larne have set up tonight?
Well, I have to be honest that I was surprised that Johnny McMurray didn't start the game, because I felt the other night against Crusaders he changed the whole dynamic for them, because John Heron, Marty Donnelly, Ronan Hale and Lee Lynch, there's not a natural number 9 there, and I mean by natural number 9 you have to play with your back to goal. Jimmy Callagher and Mark Hockey have had an easy night. They went and won headers. It's been easy for them, because there's a bit of rotation going on in front of them, but they need someone to throw the ball forward to. When you're under pressure, it's nice to look up and think, I can throw the ball forward and someone can fight and scrap and wrestle with people and get us up the pitch. Everything has to be perfect to get them up. And sometimes you want to throw a hopeful ball forward, and Johnny McMurray can do that. And I think that Tiernan will understand it also.
But the other thing, Stephen, we were talking about this as well, that's not really Larne's way of playing. Knocking the ball up and for people to battle and fight. And we also thought, is he maybe playing without a number 9, almost with Ronan Hill? Because centre backs love to have someone to mark. They hate it when they don't have anybody to pick up. But tonight, as you said, because Linfield have pressed so high and so often, the only option has been to knock the ball, long. And in doing so, then Callagher and Mark Hockey, they've eaten everything up. But they've had that opportunity because Larne haven't been able to play in their normal, natural way. And I think, he's got to do something, because they need to affect change. They need to adapt. They maybe need to change a little bit. They need to modify, because if they keep playing the way they're playing, I can't see how they're going to break down Linfield.
But in Ronan Hale, they have a man who can score goals, certainly, but their chances were far and few between in that first half.
Yeah, and I think this chance here was about 18 or 19 minutes, which tells you how dominant Linfield were in the game, that Larne didn't get an attempt on goal until almost that stage. But there's no doubt that if he gets the supply, he's been a man on form, he's got himself goals this season. Likewise, we said on Tuesday, he does his best work coming off the left. He doesn't do his best work in between centre halves. He does his best work coming off that left-hand side, waiting for pockets of space to arrive for him. I think he prefers having someone else to be that kind of main target player and him to play in the periphery of it. But there's no doubt Larne have the ability to get chances and create chances. They just have to try and take one.
And we're just hearing that David McDade coming on for Martin Donnelly in this second half for Larne.
No surprise, that Tiernan's going to change it. I've got to say, every time that we have watched Larne, Martin Donnelly has been absolutely superb. Here we are, we're just seeing again Ronan Hale, and that was the two chances that he had. He gets into those little pockets. Tiernan would have started the team that way, because he would hope there would have been more of that, but it just hasn't turned out that way.
Teams are almost on their way, but what difference have the fans made here tonight? I mean, it's been a terrific atmosphere, something we've really been missing.
Listen, even in arriving at the game tonight, you could sense a different vibe in the car park. There was more people about. Fans were coming early. They were making noise coming in. And that reflects onto the players, because playing in stadiums with very little noise is hard. It's hard to get yourself up sometimes, and it's living up to the occasion.
Stephen, David, thank you very much indeed. No doubt the next goal will be absolutely key. You're watching the Irish Cup final live here on BBC Two. Hope you're enjoying the action. Sit back and enjoy the second half in the company of Paul Lehman and Thomas Kane.
Thank you, Stephen. Linfield have lost just one of their last 9 final appearances. They have one hand on the cup right now, but that could all change over the next 45 minutes. That switch for Larne sees Davy McDaid come on for Martin Donnelly. Paul, we maybe expected a change at half-time, but are you a little bit surprised that it's Martin Donnelly who makes way?
I am, because he's, you know, one of their most creative players. They need to start creating more chances in this game. So, but then again, they do need to get more support up the top end of the pitch, the Ronan Hill. They've gone for Davy McDaid. They've sacrificed Marty Donnelly, and you know they're going to try possibly something different in the second half. They could play 3 at the back here. We will wait and see.
So on comes a very experienced striker, McDaid, who has scored 7 goals versus Linfield in his career. 3 of them have been this season for Larne. Certainly knows where the net is. His heel put under pressure from Cammy Palmer. It was mentioned by David and the two Stevens. The influence that Palmer had quietly in the first half brought the intensity. There's one another challenge in the early seconds of the second. Larne looking for movement, all a little bit too static. Eventually it comes from McDaid. He's swallowed up though by Callagher. Hughes. Jarvis. There's confirmation of that switch. Poor touch from Lynch. Difficult ball to control, but he's pickpocketed by Lavery, who has options left and right. Now Quinn's in the middle. Quinn stretching for it. Lavery in the follow-up. What a stop from Mitchell. Danger still not away. Well, that could have all but ended this game right at the start of the second half. Lifted in once more by Miller. And behind for a corner kick.
What a save that was from Mitchell. You know, maybe a bit critical of him for the second goal, but we see it here. Powerful header from Lavery again, and he's at full stretch to keep that one out. That's a fantastic save. Sule's back in there as well, trying to defend it, but credit to the goalkeeper, superb save.
Mitchell made a couple of astonishing stops at Windsor Park last Saturday.
And again, in the build-up, Thomas, Larne had possession of the ball in the Linfield half. It was a loose pass again, couldn't get it under control, and Linfield broke away with that word again, intensity.
Quinn lurking towards the back post area as the ball comes in towards Lavery. McDaid's all by himself, and Pepper alongside Clark. Got it away. The numerical advantage paying off. Just a reminder of the two lineups at the bottom of your screen. No Stephen Fallon for Linfield. He missed out with a hamstring injury. Miller to Mulgrew. Linfield look like they've picked up where they left off in the opening 45 minutes as Palmer wins another corner kick.
Yeah, again, it's good again from Linfield, as you say. They picked up where they left off and really putting Larne under pressure again. We see that save again from Mitchell. Fantastic, full stretch.
It was almost made more difficult by Sule's press.
Yeah, Sule gets in his way, and you know if that goes in, you know it's very much game over. Important save.
Hockey jostling for position in the middle. Plenty of movement in there. Cooper flicks it on. It was again towards that far post area as Callagher scrambles to keep it in play. Decent delivery from him, but dealt with by Robinson. Miller recycles to Cooper. Cooper tried to bend it towards the far post, and It took a deflection away as far as Miller. And now it's Palmer. Final touch was off a Larne defender. And it's backs against the walls for Larne in this second half.
Yeah, it's all pressure from Larne again. Shot in from Miller. Palmer trying to get the shot away, and it's deflected for the corner. But again, all pressure from Linfield on the front foot from the start of the second half.
Could be a huge 4 days for Linfield. Coming up on Tuesday, it's co-reign in the league. A point would be enough to secure the league title. Here at Mourneview, it's Miller. Another corner kick, and just wide from Joel Cooper, who seems to be just about everywhere.
Yeah, again, it's the delivery, you know, it's whipped in from Miller with pace on it, and it only takes any sort of touch to get it back across the goal. Those dangerous deliveries are causing problems all the time for Larne.
Well, Oxford are currently 2-1 down in the second leg of their League One playoff semi-final taking place right now. But I'm sure they'll be well aware of just how well Joel Cooper's performing here in Lurgan. Appeals for a handball, and Hughes didn't really have too many options. The presence of Lamprey forced him into the mistake. Another look at it.
It didn't seem like there was an awful lot in it.
It was right in front of Linfield supporters. David Healy on the opposite end of the ground. Sule gets his head up and straight away looks for Hale, overhit from the midfielder.
I think it's important that when Larne get those opportunities, we see it there from Sule, that, you know, the quality of the final delivery's got to be better. They're not getting too many opportunities.
Larne currently 4th in the league table, 10 points behind Linfield, just 1 behind Glentoran, who are in 3rd place. Those two sides go head-to-head on Tuesday night. Mulgrew somehow scrambles it away to Pepper. Pepper, of course, who joined Linfield after the cup final last year, wasn't part of the semi-final or final squad from Glentoran's point of view, as it's given away cheaply by Jarvis. Straight to Cooper. Works out nicely for him. He forced it forward with power. Another opportunity for Cooper. Blocked once again. Another change coming up for Larne. Cooper clips it in towards Lavery, and it's Robinson this time who gets there. Mulgrew hit the deck as he clattered into one of the Larne players, his momentum taking him forward. Looks like it's Mark Randall about to be introduced. I think the indications are it's going to be Lee Lynch who makes way. So another change coming up for Larne. Clearly Tiernan Lynch not happy with what's transpired in the opening 8 minutes of this second half.
Yeah, again, you know, they made that change at half-time, and, you know, but Linfield's very much still the dominant team in this game, so, you know, he's going to roll the dice again. It's Lynch this time off for Randall, and Randall's a player who we know, if you can get him on the ball, you know, he can possibly unlock this Linfield defence, and, you know, he's a great taker of a dead ball. If they can, you know, win some free kicks around the edge of the box, you know, he's a player of real quality.
Well, we've mentioned it before on commentary. 13 games for Arsenal came through the academy there. Very highly thought of at the Emirates. Played in Dennis Bergkamp's testimonial and was in the same England youth teams as the likes of Daniel Sturridge and Dele Alli. So he does have quality, but it's Linfield on the attack through Cooper. Lavery's peeled away in and around the penalty spot as Clark goes down, adamant that he was pulled by Watson. Referee shook his head, and look at the reaction of David Healy. He felt his team should have had a spot kick as well.
Yeah, there was a strong appeal from Clark. We need to see it again, and David Healy was also adamant.
Hughes. Inside to Sule. Randall wanted the ball a little bit further forward. He's playing a little bit of a pocket just in front of Soulé. Here he is on the ball. One once more by Watson. McDade. McDade! Fine stop from Johns. Got a strong hand on it to take it away from the oncoming Heron. Larne's best chance of the game. Falling to Davy McDade. Soulé might fancy a go himself. Soulé! Just over the top. Two quick-fire opportunities. And Larne show that they're still in this game.
Yeah,
did that glance off the crossbar.
This is Davy McDade's effort as well. You know, it was a more direct ball, a longer ball into the box. Davy McDade putting himself about in there. The ball falls. You need to see that. I think Albert maybe just gets it. Not a lot in. He maybe just gets his arm across him, but not a lot of contact in that one. But two really good efforts there from Larne. You know, the effort from McDade, good save from Johns, and then the effort from Soulé where it just clips the bar, and you know that gives Larne a little bit more belief again. You know, they found a little bit of space there, which they haven't been able to do in this game, and had two decent efforts on goal.
And listen to how it's buoyed the Larne fans. They're on their feet. And Linfield supporters in response.
Well, the Larne fans have had very little to cheer about, you know, and that's given them a little bit of belief. We see it here.
Oh, so close from Soulé.
It's a tremendous strike from Soulé. It's the first time he's really found any space in the midfield to drive forward. And it's a great strike on goal.
Pepper's down after the challenge. I think it was from Randall. Across comes Andrew Davey. Linfield players really aren't happy with it. What's your impression, Paul?
I mean, the reaction of Conor Pepper, he's definitely caught him there, but I think Randall's got every right to go and challenge for the ball there. But it looks like he just catches him. Maybe he'd like to see it from a better angle. No, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of contact. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of contact in seeing that replay there.
Pepper's back on his feet. Jarvis. Blocked initially and then fouled by Miller. And those two opportunities seem to have really encouraged Larne.
Yeah, I mean, you look, they're trying to get the ball forward a little bit quicker now.
But they'll also be aware that they can't afford to be hit by a sucker punch at the other end. Robinson gets it away. Only as far as Quinn. Callagher. Yet to sign a contract, of course, at Linfield. Club are going full-time next season.
Yeah, I think Linfield will be mad that they let him go. If there's a way to accommodate him in the full-time football setup, you know, I think they've got to do it. He's such an important player for them.
There's a bite to this game. I don't know whether it's because of it's the fans being back, but every single ball is contested and players are getting a little bit edgy out there.
I think, as you rightly say, after those last couple of efforts from Larne, there's a little bit more belief about them. There's a little, you know, the tempo of their play. They're looking to do things a little bit quicker now. I think they also realise, you know, we're coming up to an hour gone now. The next goal's so important for Larne, and you know they've got to have a go.
Randall works it across to Cosgrove, who perhaps hasn't been able to have the attacking influence in the game that he normally does, but it's Palmer who gets her ahead of Soulé. Lavery has it all to do himself. Two defenders around him. Still Shane Lavery. Eventually there was a supporting run from Palmer, but Lavery couldn't find him, but he's managed to win it back. Mulgrew. Lavery. Cross comes Randall, now it's Heron. Challenged by Cooper. It's relentless stuff. Pepper, unable to find a teammate. Sule just brushed off Lavery's challenge. Here is Kirk Miller. No real movement on the Linfield bench so far as Quinn with his weaker right foot almost picked out the run of Cooper over the top.
Yeah, I think, Lauren, that they have to take a few chances, Thomas, but as we've seen again there, it was a loose ball in the midfield again and Lavery's breaking away. So as you say, yes, they have to take chances, but they also have to be cautious as well, and just they could be susceptible to the counter-attack. Linfield are so good at it with that man Lavery.
Such pace in that front three of Lavery, Cooper and Miller. Just with Palmer and Mulgrew in behind helping out. Cooper's done really well again. He's done really well to pick out Lavery. Challenge comes across from Robinson. It was a good one. It had to be timed to perfection from Josh Robinson. Those are the kind of incidents you're referring to, Paul. Leaving Robinson one-on-one with Lavery at the back.
Yeah, it's a superb challenge from Robinson, and again, it's those two men. Cooper and Lavery have been outstanding. Cooper again winning tackles in the middle of the park, and he puts a great ball through to Lavery, and Josh Robinson, he has to time that to perfection. Otherwise, he's going to give away a foul and possibly a red card there. Times it to perfection, wins the ball, and so important to keep Larne in the game.
3 Linfield substitutes warming up. As Randall plays it in. Hughes has found space, nods it goalwards over the top. Just looked as if Jeff Hughes had got ahead of his marker at the near post.
Yeah, and it's a great delivery again from Randall. We mentioned that just when he came on about his delivery of the ball. And I don't know, for me, Jeff Hughes doesn't really go at it with any real conviction there, and it allows Quinn to get back in and make the clearance. But here we see it, the tackle from Josh Robinson. It has to be perfect, otherwise Lavery's in. Yeah.
Lavery complaining for the foul, but it did appear that Josh Robinson got the ball. Heron. Into the final half hour here at Mornview. Larne have it all to do. Sule. Worked across as far as Cosgrove. This time it's Jamie Mulgrew applying the pressure. Pepper wins a free kick. Following challenge from Hale.
Yeah, there's very little in it. Pepper's just being clever again. He bought the earlier foul against Randall where he looked as if he'd been shot, but in front of Linfield fans. But again, there's very little contact, but he's clever, just takes the sting out of the game, gets Linfield the free kick, and they can just relax again and set up again.
Larne's route to the final. They defeated Dollingstown in the second round, having been given a bye in the first. 8-1, they overcame Dollingstown. Hat-trick for Hale, couple for Donnelly, and also for Motley, Henry and Lusty. In the quarterfinals, it was a 2-0 victory over Carrick Rangers. Hale once again the score sheet, and the striker scored against Crusaders on Tuesday in that last 4 encounter before all the drama in the shootout. Palmer scrapping for everything.
He's been superb, Palmer.
Linfield bench not happy with the follow-up challenge as Mulgrew then wins it. Buoyed on by the Linfield supporters who are applauding every single tackle, and it's a poor touch from Cooper. Characteristically, he's won it back though. Digs out the cross, but it beats everyone. Heron. Hale might have the go. Well, paused as he was under pressure from Pepper, and Gallagher won it back. Mulgrew finds Randall and also receives a yellow card for the challenge.
And again, just prior to that, you know, Hale's giving the ball away cheaply when Larne are in a decent position. Yeah, Jamie Mulgrew he loses the ball, and it's a little trip on Randall, and the referee gives him the yellow card. And there's a little bit of afters between him and Randall as well. But Jamie Mulgrew again, so influential for Linfield, in the thick of everything for them, leading by example. We see the little bit of afters there from Randall.
Jamie Mulgrew recently surpassed 50,000 minutes in a Linfield shirt. Well over 600 appearances now. Has won this trophy 6 times. A runner-up once. Is looking to secure his 9th league title as well. What a servant he's been to the club.
It's a phenomenal record that he has, and I think he's 34 now, and he's showing no signs of slowing down. As I said there, he's still so influential for this team. He's driving the players on around him. Fantastic footballer.
Well, just in the background of that shot of Tim McCann and Tiernan Lynch, it did look as if Johnny McMurray was getting ready. There's some of the Larne fans in the shade in the main stand here at Moorview. But is that Johnny McMurray?
Yeah.
Certainly looks like him from this distance. Yep, it is. And that would be a final roll of the dice for Tiernan Lynch and Larne. Gallagher gets her. McDade's efforts blocked. Soulé pumps it in. I think Robinson was aware that he was offside, and it drifts out of play.
Yeah. And again, it's a good ball into the box from Randall. It's a strong header from Gallagher. They've defended it really well. And now Larne going to bring on McMurray. Last roll of the dice for them. They're going to have Ronan Hale coming off. I thought they might have went with 3 up top and really went for it, but they're taking off Hale for McMurray. And McMurray really came on Tuesday. You know, when he had an effect in the game, he impacted the game, and you know, Larne need him to do the same now.
Ronan Hale, the club's top scorer this season with 18. Hasn't been his evening so far. And on comes Johnny McMurray. 3 of his 4 goals so far this season have been as a substitute. Made such a difference having been introduced on Tuesday. Clark has looked really solid at left back. Here's Heron to Randall. Jarvis has found a little bit of space in this near side. Instead, the pass was aimed at McMurray through the middle.
Yeah, again for Larne, it's that final pass. You know, it's straight through to the goalkeeper. Takes the pressure off Linfield. You know, the ball's got to be put in with more quality, and it's got to give the strikers something to attack and something to get on the end of.
Just that little flurry when Larne had a couple of chances with McDade and Soulé causing problems, but since then Linfield have looked very solid at the back. Instead it's Hughes who can't pick out McDade in the middle. Watson's adamant that he got the ball.
Yeah, big Albert, he shot there. I think there's a nudge on him, to be fair, you know. I think he's just nudged Lavery away. Lavery's using his body well to protect the ball, and I think Albert's just given him a little bit of a nudge, and, you know, free kick. Again, it breaks the momentum for Larne. It gives Linfield a chance. A little break in play. We see David Healy just chatting his players again and settle things down. He knows Larne are going to try and put them under a little bit of pressure now with the substitutions.
I think he's making a change as well. It looks like it's going to be Chris Manzinga introduced, and does that signify that Shane Lavery's evening is going to be over? I suppose he also probably has to have one eye on that huge game against Coleraine on Tuesday. Won't want to risk Shane Lavery given the form that he's in.
No, and he's worked tirelessly. He's put so much into this game, and as you say, perhaps one eye in the midweek game, give him a little bit of a rest, but You know, he's so important for them.
Shane Lavery's a very quiet player off the pitch, and it was interesting just to get an insight into what he's found life at Linfield like, and certainly the last season in particular. Mark Sterling has written an article on the BBC Sport Northern Ireland website talking with the Northern Ireland international, who is expected to make the switch back across the water this summer. That piece still available on the Northern Ireland Sport website. Cooper. Goal kick to Larne.
Yeah, I don't think Shane Larry, he won't want to come off. Manzinga's put his bib back on. I think they maybe just thought with the injury there, he took a little bit of a knock. But he looks to be okay, and you know, he'll want to continue in the cup final. He's already got one goal, he'll think he can get more.
He's a player who leaves absolutely everything on the pitch, regardless of whether or not he finds a net. Just behind McMurray. Callagher does very well. Back in again. Can McMurray get there? He looks second favourite for it, as Clark just guided it out of play.
Yeah, Clark does well there. You know, it's a ball back in from Robinson. It'll be easy for Clark to switch off there, but he makes sure and he sees that one out, and McMurray could have got in there.
Chris Johns hasn't had too much to do. Don't think he managed to get a touch at all in that Sule effort that hit the crossbar. Certainly the referee didn't think so. McDeed. Across to Cosgrove. Larne needs something to happen. Cosgrove on the overlap. And the few opportunities he's had to career down the right-hand side, but it's Joel Cooper who got his body in the way, and Cosgrove's furious, felt he was fouled initially.
Yeah, again, it's brilliant from Cooper again. And, you know, Tomas Cosgrove is a player we know in this Larne team. He loves to get forward, but as you mentioned there, he's very rarely got forward in this game, and that's because Cooper has done so well.
You know, the case here, though, I think he's actually saying it was a handball, and then did his arm come across Cosgrove, or is that just simply a case of Cooper out muscling the right back?
I think Cooper does well. He tracks him back all the way. There doesn't seem to be any foul when he's on the ground. And again, it's great tracking back from Joel Cooper, and he's done that all night. And not only has he been good, you know, in attack, defensively he's been superb as well.
Tomas Cosgrove has started every single Larne game this season. Played more minutes than anybody else. Already has 2 runners-up medals from his time at Cliftonville, having lost the deciders to Glentoran and Coleraine. Hughes. Little nudge from McDeed. And the whistle comes from the referee. McDeed's reaction suggests that he felt there was very little in that, but it's clearly 2 hands in the back of Mark Hockey.
Yeah, Hockey looks as if he's going to deal with the situation quite easily, but you know, McDeed, there's a little nudge there. He's got his hand on his back, and you know, you can tell by the reaction of Davy McDeed, he knew.
Manzinga is going to come on for Linfield. He's poised. Lavery, will he be the player that makes way? Well, he's won his side, a corner kick, and you can see him hobbling there. Shane Lavery.
Yeah, he's signalling over to the bench there, but it looks like, you know, they're going to make the change now. And
don't think there's any need to risk Shane Lavery. Not with 2 huge games coming up. Standing ovation from the Linfield supporters, and why not for Shane Lavery? He's been the outstanding performer for the club throughout the season. scored his 30th of the campaign in the opening 5 minutes and has been relentless from the word go. Coleraine to come on Tuesday in Cliftonville next week. Linfield won't want to have him missing for those games. Manzinga right on top of the goalkeeper. Cooper didn't connect as Randall goes down.
Again, excellent delivery from Kurt Miller. We talked about the deliveries from Linfield have been excellent on both sides, and that was another one from Miller.
High fives all round for Shane Lavery.
Had a superb
There's a goal in super slow-mo. A moment he'll remember for years to come. No matter how many he scores. It was a goal that set Linfield on their way. Joel Cooper doubled their advantage in the first half. As we enter the final 15 minutes here at Mourneview Park. McDade comes across. And Hockey takes no chances. Another player linked with a move away from Linfield when they move to the full-time structure. Glenavon suggested as a club that he might come to, along with the likes of Stafford and potentially Andrew Waterworth. That trio unable to commit to full-time football. Cosgrove towards Heron. Hockey got in the way. Manzinga came from an offside position and the flag was up on this near side.
Yeah, we could hear Jimmy Mulgrew tell him to leave the ball. He recognised it, but you know, Manzinga went towards it and it was offside. Mulgrew frustrated.
Linfield supporters complaining as to where the free kick's been taken from. Manzinga came from his own half before making a connection, but he has managed to win the free kick, and Soule becomes the second player to go into the referee's notebook.
Yeah, he just gets caught in the wrong side, Soule, and you know, Manzinga's turned away from him. You know, and he holds him back, and the referee's no choice there but to give him a yellow card.
Hasn't quite happened for Chris Manzinga at Linfield.
He's a player when I've seen him. He's got tremendous pace. He's very direct, and you know, certainly looks as if he could cause defences problems, but been very inconsistent in his performances when he has played.
Here he is on the ball. Actually scored his first league goal, his only league goal for Linfield against Glenavon in a defeat last month. Miller happy enough to let the ball drift out of play and need up a few more seconds. No real urgency needed from Linfield's point of view. Again, the decision goes away at David Healy's side.
Yeah, and this is a period of the game now where they'll use all their experience. You mentioned all those experienced players, and you know, they'll try and manage the game. They're 2-0 up, and they won't want to let Larne have any way back into this game.
12 minutes to go. Linfield 12 minutes away from claiming another Irish Cup, a 44th for the club. McDade has support up ahead, but it was Cammy Palmer coming back and getting his toe on it, not for the first time this evening. Cooper takes on Watson for pace. Still Cooper, still Joel Cooper, could finish it. Closed down by Mitchell. That you would expect would have wrapped it all up.
Yeah, I think so. Again, Albert Watson, he doesn't want to be caught one-on-one with Joel Cooper. Tries to make the clearance. Good save from the goalkeeper, and I think it was Palmer was maybe making the run into the middle. Support of Cooper, and we see him there, look. You know, if he just squares it, it's an easy finish for Palmer, but give credit again to Connor Mitchell for coming out and making a save.
Manzinga's taking up the same position that Shane Lavery likes to, alongside Mitchell and Sule. Miller whips it in over the top from Callagher. Scored an Irish Cup final for Glentoran against Cliftonville a number of years ago. Almost repeated defeat for Linfield.
Yeah, again, you know, I keep repeating it, but the delivery is excellent from Miller again. It gives Callagher something to go and attack, and we know how good he is from set pieces, and he's very unlucky there.
Bodies forward for Larne. Hughes unable to link up with a teammate though. Cosgrove. You do feel that Larne are going for broke here with so many bodies forward.
That's sort of been the story of their game. You know, they're trying to build up the play, and you know, it's a loose pass, or Linfield are just working so hard to stop them playing through, and there's no momentum to their play.
The club won their first trophy in 23 years earlier this season, lifting the County Antrim Shield. They'd hoped to make it a cup double, but right now it doesn't look like it's going to be their night. It was a little attempted flick from Cooper, and it's opened up. Manzinga's in the middle. Cooper just waited and waited, and well, you can see by his reaction, apologising to Manzinga in the middle. There's a little flick initially.
Yeah, I think the previous chance where he should have squared it to Palmer was maybe in his mind. He just seemed to be caught in two minds. For me, he slows down. He should probably go towards the goal with more purpose and try and get the shot away there and be more, you know, selfish, Joel Cooper. And it doesn't come off for him in the end. Another big chance for Linfield.
Another set piece. This time it's right on top of Mitchell, who claims it, and you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to use the ball quickly. But by the time it's pumped forward by Hughes, Linfield are back in numbers. McDade. Ricocheted off Cosgrove. That just about sums up Larne's evening.
Yeah,
just hasn't quite happened for Tiernan Lynch and Tim McCann's side.
No, again, I mentioned it just, you know, previous. They just haven't been able to get any real flow and momentum to their play, and that can be very frustrating for a team as well. You know, you're putting in so much effort, but just nothing's came off for them, you know, and that's probably a culmination of poor play from Larne and great play from Linfield as well. You can't take anything away from Linfield and how hard they've worked to stifle this Larne team.
Larne still in the mix for one of those European spots in the league, having claimed the County Antrim Shield, but they really wanted to win a first Irish Cup. It was something that Kenny Bruce, their owner, had spoken about before. Felt this was a great opportunity, having progressed to the decider. But Linfield have just been a little bit sharper and also more clinical. Randall. Nobody there in red.
Yeah, same again, you know, from Larne. Randall, opportunity to put a decent ball in there, give the striker something to get on the end of a game, but it's a poor ball from Larne. You know, they look a bit dejected now, Larne. They look as if they, you know, they know it's unlikely to happen for them now. And, you know, but anything can happen. There's still, you know, 6 minutes plus injury time. If they were to get one quickly, who knows? But, you know, Linfield's performance has been so good.
Pictures of the Linfield fans lucky enough to be at this game There will be 500 at the Coleraine Showgrounds on Tuesday night. Linfield need a point in that game. Coleraine could force it to go to the final day of the season. It's a mouth-watering encounter, and it'll be live on the BBC Sport Northern Ireland website and also on BBC iPlayer. You can watch live coverage of that fixture as Linfield go in search of what you would expect would be a double, given the way things are going here. 84 minutes in, and Jamie Mulgrew doing what Jamie Mulgrew's been doing from the very first minute.
He hasn't stopped this whole game. His energy levels are unbelievable. You know, for a player of his age, I mentioned it earlier, he doesn't show any signs of slowing down. He's been superb for Linfield again this evening. They've had some big performances this evening.
Mulgrew forced it forward. Manzinga's going to challenge with Mitchell. Goalkeeper under pressure, did well to claim it. Watson pumps it forward. And it's Nick Murray who's penalised for his challenge on Callagher as he tried to hold it up.
Yeah, they just haven't tested, Linfield enough, Larne, this evening, and Linfield have kept them at arm's length most of the game. The only real efforts they have were from distance. They haven't really created anything in and around the box.
Randall. It's McDade trying to nip in between Callagher and the goalkeeper, away as far as Jarvis. Again, it's a winger coming back who dispossesses the left back. Manzinga pounces upon the mistake from Watson. Still Manzinga onto his left foot, smothered by the combination of Watson and Cosgrove. In many ways, has the game last Saturday at Windsor Park worked against Larne? Yeah. Because it fired up Linfield. They wanted to prove a point against a side that they've struggled against so far this campaign.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. We know Larne had the upper hand in the meetings this season in the league, and certainly last week Linfield were minutes away from picking up the league, more or less, so Larne denied them from doing that. They're playing in a major cup final tonight. They've got that motivation in itself, but for Larne beating them last week, that's an extra motivation. And from the very first whistle, Linfield have just been up for it. You can see it in the intensity of their play, the desire. We saw the wingers working back there, 85 minutes. The wingers are still working back. Everyone's working so hard, and it's been a dominant performance from Linfield.
There have been so many top-class performances amongst the Linfield squad. Who for you has stood out? Who's your man of the match?
There's been some massive performances. You mentioned Shane Lavery in the first half. Cammy Palmer has been superb, but I think Joel Cooper probably just edges it for me. Jamie Mulgrew's another big performer, but Joel Cooper probably just edges it for me. He's been superb in attack. He's been involved in all the good things Linfield have done, but also what I liked about his game tonight is working back the other way, the tackles he's made, the work rate, the desire. It's just been superb, and for me Cooper just edges it.
It's probably the first time throughout the night that Joel Cooper's actually been static for that announcement. Congratulations to him. It's been a standout performance from the player on loan from Oxford United. Mulgrew. Free kick goes away of Larne. So we're into the final 2 minutes. It's now or never for Larne, and the ball's in the wrong end of the pitch. Hughes flicks it forward, but it's hammered clear by Pepper. Jarvis uses his body. And away by Palmer.
You can see Palmer there again. Another outstanding performer. He's given everything for Linfield this evening. He's almost out on his feet there as we see him, but another superb performance.
It's been two dominant displays within the space of 4 days for Linfield. ruthless against Ballymena United. And again here this evening. Hughes. Off the head of Callagher and wide. It was well struck by Jeff Hughes. But the seconds are ticking down.
Decent effort from Hughes there, and Callagher does well to turn it away.
A Larne goal here could potentially set up a grandstand finish. But it's away by Quinn. Cooper playing with such confidence. Manzinga, look at the run being made by Miller. Three additional minutes of added time and the flag is up. Cooper just gesturing, of course, to the official that he felt that was a wrong decision, but David Healy smiling in the dugout, and why not? His side are on the verge of clinching another trophy. It would be the 7th during his reign, and with the possibility of another coming up this week. Confirmation of the man of the match, Joel Cooper, over the PA. As Watson flicks it forward under pressure. Linfield can't quite believe that the corner kick has been given. Neither can David Healy.
Yeah, but Watson, he's headed that straight out. And
certainly looked that way from our angle, but it's given Randall the chance from the corner kick. Everybody's forward. Crucial touch from Chris Johns. Hasn't had a lot to do this evening. Wonder will Mitchell come up and do an Allison. He's just in the edge of his area. Doesn't quite fancy it yet. Heron to take. Hughes battles for it. Round up. Back with Cosgrove. Cooper flung his body in the way. Follow up from Soulé. So many Larne players forward. It's Hughes. It's in. And the flag stayed down. Could we have game on, Paul?
Very little time left, Thomas, but you know, a little bit of a lifeline for Larne. You know, Linfield, everyone pushes out and the ball ricochets in the box and it just falls to Hughes, and you know, he shows the composure then just to finish it off. And you know, Larne have got to try and get the ball quickly here and get it forward as quickly as possible.
So having been so comfortable for so much of the night, Larne know that another goal would force it to penalties. Tiernan Lynch. Well, it's been a difficult night for his side. That could prove to be little more than consolation, that Jeff Hughes finish.
Got it.
30 seconds to go. Larne need the ball up the other end of the pitch. Jarvis. One instead by Mulgrew. Will he take it to the corner? Miller's outside it. Challenge comes in. There's a free kick, and that pretty much should be that. Linfield and David Healy have once again claimed the Irish Cup. Celebrations in the dugout, celebrations on the pitch. Jamie Mulgrew winning this competition for a 7th time. The fans will savour this one, as will the players. Joel Cooper winning the Man of the Match award. He popped up on the score sheet after Shane Lavery had found a net early on. And in truth, it was a dominant display from David Healy's side, Paul.
Yeah, it was, Thomas, and you know, from the very first minute of the game, Linfield showed real hunger, real desire to get about their business, to stop Larne from playing. We all know the style of play Larne like to adapt in the game, and it's, Linfield just didn't let them get any pattern in the game, and they imposed their own game on Larne. And as I say, from all their players, 1 through to 11, they were all at a high level, such a high level. The desire was there, the hunger was there, the energy and the work rate was there. And when they got that early goal, that settled them down. And Larne looked nervous in the first half, but throughout the game, Linfield were the dominant team, and they thoroughly deserved to win this Irish Cup.
And now the focus will switch to the league on Tuesday and what could prove to be another double for David Healy.
Yeah, and the thing about it now, these players have just won the Irish Cup. They're on a tremendous high, and they know that they can go and win the double and the league title on Tuesday. It's a fantastic position for any player to be in, and this will give them that massive boost going into Tuesday. And again, Linfield, it's not easy for a former Glens captain to be sitting in the stand amongst 500 blue men, giving them so much credit, but you can't not give them credit. You've got to give David Healy and this team tremendous credit, because they got the job done again.
We'll be back for the presentation in a moment, as it's finished here in the Irish Cup final. Larne 1, Linfield 2.
Stephen Cregan, David Jeffrey, the double is on after a dynamic, dominant Linfield performance tonight.
Yeah, listen, just to echo the words of Paul Lehman, I just felt Linfield were really on point tonight. For anyone who didn't know about the characteristics of Linfield and the strength of character, their resilience, their appetite for the game, after losing such a late goal last weekend against Larne, the response in the last 2 games has been nothing short of sensational. And I just think from minute 1 tonight, they were relentless in the pursuit of what they were trying to achieve. There was only one team going to win. Larne will learn an awful lot from tonight about how to get over the line in a major cup final. That was an experienced team who handled the occasion well. They played with frustration, with a little bit of anger, and with that siege mentality, and they were terrific.
Big name players performed, like Jamie Mulgrew, the captain, Joel Cooper, Shane Lavery. They all performed for that man, David Healy, tonight.
Absolutely outstanding, you've got to say, Stephen. 2-1, to be fair, maybe flattered Larne a little bit, and the harsh reality is that the Larne goal came from a corner kick which should never have been given, because Albert Watson headed the ball out. But Linfield were mightily impressive against themselves, Ballymena United, in the semi-final, and they just continued off with it. They left off. They had so many top performers. Joel Cooper, quite rightly, got man of the match. He got his goal. He was tenacious going forward. He was determined. In the back, probably the only little criticism was he had 2 occasions maybe to score the ball where Linfield could have won more convincingly. And young Cameron Palmer, he was absolutely excellent, first class. But all over, Linfield were most impressive.
Well, let's hear from the man of the match, Joel Cooper.
Champagne this time, you promised last time.
Well, listen, we'll get your champagne, Joe, but first of all, we'll do your interview. Congratulations. What a performance from your team tonight.
Yeah, we were brilliant. Larne are a very good side. Love a wee bit of stick, but no, it was a good performance from the boys, and I thought we fairly deserved it. And the goal at the end is a bit of a sickener, but we've done enough to win the game, which is important.
Getting a bit of stick, but great to have the fans back.
Yeah, brilliant. You miss it. You miss the stick as well, so bring it on.
What does it mean to score in the Irish Cup final the winning goal?
It feels good, but I could have had a hat-trick, so I'm a wee bit disappointed because I had a good chance to wrap it up, but I'll take it, but I'll be disappointed looking back probably. Personally,
your performance, Joel, is that one of the best performances on a personal level?
I don't know. I think work rate, it was one of them ones where you just had to grit your teeth and work really hard, and then it came because it was a hard surface to play on, very sticky, and but no, I was glad to get the goal, and obviously Shane got the first one, which was settled us down a bit.
Winning trophies, is this the reason why you re-signed for this club?
Yeah, Linfield, you have to win trophies at Linfield or else you're not successful. It's not, you can't come second at Linfield, and the boys in there know that, and Jamie Mulgrew, who's been here years, is a great leader for that, because he does it year in, year out, and I think we deserved it, and like I say, we need to win trophies when you're here.
You're obviously on loan from Oxford, Joel. Is there a chance we could see you back in blue next season?
I don't think so. I want to give full-time football a full go. My family issues have been sorted, and I'm ready to go and give it a real good go, and hopefully I can be successful.
This is clearly a moment, though, and an occasion you'll never forget. You'll look back on for years to come.
Yeah, it's something I'll enjoy. It was nice doing it at Mourneview too, so yeah, it was something I look back on and I'll enjoy. So yeah, we'll enjoy tonight and work hard again for the next game coming.
Enjoy the celebrations. Your champagne's in the post.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.
Well, deserved man of the match, certainly for Joel Cooper. Isn't it nice tonight that these Linfield players will be able to lift the trophy in front of the fans?
There's a very poignant picture there of Mark Hawkey down here at Glenavon, where he started. In fact, it was Brian McLaughlin and I who brought him to Windsor Park. He's just standing there very reflective, taking everything in. That man there, Mulgrew. Remember him coming to Windsor Park from Glentoran as a young boy.
You gave him his debut, didn't you?
Yeah, we signed him, we gave him his debut, and he has just gone on and just displays everything that there is about Linfield. This young fella here, my goodness gracious me, so modest. And ironically, yes, back here at Mourneview where he made his name. So fantastic evening for him, and certainly we'll be delighted to see him go back. There's the boy there where he is so yeah, Matthew Cameron Palmer.
Yeah.
He was phenomenal, wasn't he, Stephen?
I just think, sometimes in football it's not about tactics or it's not about setup. It's all about guts and determination and drive, something you have within yourself. And the Linfield players had a real edge to them tonight. They knew what was at stake. They know what's coming on Tuesday night. They know what's potentially coming next Saturday. And everything they've done, I would love to know if that's one of the most complete performances that David Healy has had as manager of Linfield, because if there's been anything better than that, I would love to know about it, because I just thought it was sensational from start to finish.
Larne have been outgunned tonight, but they're going to have to try and regroup very quickly, because the focus will turn to the league, where they're 2 wins away from European football still.
Stephen, I don't want to sound crass, but sometimes this experience does you the world of good. You see the Larne players there standing very respectful, as they should do. And as a manager, when you're in that situation, you're going round your players and you're saying, listen lads, you've got to stand here, you've got to show respect, you've got to be professional. But then you're also saying to them, what does this feel like? Remember this, bank this feeling of emotional disappointment. Make sure you don't want to feel that again. And there's a little part of me which thinks, and I was saying it just to Stephen during the game, it's not that they weren't up for tonight, it's not that they weren't prepared for tonight, but sometimes, after the ecstasy of qualifying and getting to the final, it's hard to go again, where Linfield very much had the bit between their teeth following their defeat against Larne in the Irish League game last weekend.
Well, man of the match award for Joel Cooper. Deservedly so. Great performance by him tonight before he heads back to Oxford next season. And as I was saying, isn't it lovely the fans can enjoy this experience with the manager David Healy and the rest of the team?
Stephen, it's been absolutely fabulous. We've talked all year on many occasions where we talked about being blessed and being privileged, about the fact that we were still able to play. To actually have the most important people of the lot back in the game tonight, that is the supporters, is absolutely fabulous.
And Stephen, the focus on the league now, of course, because Linfield have won the Irish Cup, 3rd place will get European football, and that's what Larne are going to have to gun for.
Yeah, and I think tomorrow morning when they wake up and they go in for a cool-down session, Tiernan Lynch will have to reaffirm that. If they win their next 2 games, home to Glentoran, home to Coleraine, they've got European football. So there's still more to come. This is not the end of the season. They're on this journey. They're trying to get themselves into European football. There's an awful lot to come from this football club. But David's right. You have to learn from adversity. You have to learn from defeat. You have to learn about yourself as an individual. You've got to learn about your players. So it's all about turning things around and kicking on for the next 2 games.
Strange medal presentations, of course, at the moment because of COVID-19. No real handover of the trophies. The Larne players despondent there, picking up their losers' medals. We'll go back to Paul and Thomas for the presentation of the Peaky Blinders Irish Cup.
Disappointment for Larne, but it's going to be a familiar name that goes on the 2021 Irish Cup. Mark Hawkey is leading the Linfield players. Jamie Mulgrew will be the final man to come up and claim his medal. Hawkey will be leaving Linfield at the end of the season. It looks like so too Shane Lavery, but plenty of that squad will be hanging around. There's a small matter of a potential league title to come over the next week, and after a champagne performance from Joel Cooper and his teammates, it's going to be Jamie Mulgrew who will eventually get his hands on the trophy once more. He's been there before on 6 previous occasions. The players are ready as Jamie Mulgrew prepares to lift the Irish Cup. It'll be the 44th time that Linfield have won the Irish Cup. Fireworks over Mornview, celebrations on the pitch and in the stands. It's a blue day once again. Jimmy Callagher, the next man to get his hands on the trophy. A second winner's medal for himself and for Joel Cooper. Linfield have completed part 1 of a double. They'll hope to finish the job in the coming 7 days. Chris Manzinga came on for the final quarter of an hour. And these are the scenes you'll see on social media and on the back pages of the paper tomorrow. Let's hand back to Stephen and David to wrap things up.
Well, that's the Irish Cup firmly in the cabinet, and they're now just 1 point away from the league title as well.
There's 1 point away from the league title, as you say, Stephen. Let me guarantee you this, there'll be no losing of focus. Absolutely none. As I said, it's ridiculous how there's turning points in the season, and I would suggest very, very much so. And you can see how much it means to David and the staff and the players. But that defeat by Larne was very much instrumental in reminding them of the mindset that they should have. To Linfield's credit, any time they've been beaten this year, they haven't been beaten a second time. And every defeat that they have had, they have used that to fuel their desire and their enthusiasm and their commitment in the next game. And this week basically has just epitomised that. Beaten by Larne on Saturday, were excellent against ourselves, Ballymena, and deservedly went through, were most impressive, and they simply took over where they left off on Tuesday night. Here they were immensely impressive.
It's been credit to all the players, Stephen. This has been a remarkably difficult season. The amount of football they've had to play, the conditions they've had to play under because of COVID-19 as well. And after a year which there has been a lot of doom and gloom, to have pictures and scenes like this really does warm the heart, doesn't it?
Yeah, and just to reaffirm the fact, you mentioned having supporters to enjoy it. Nights like this, you think it's all been worth it. Yes, it's tough at times, and you have to say it's the most competitive Irish league I can certainly remember in my lifetime. Not just the top 2 or 3, but the top 7 or 8 clubs. It's shown continually they can all beat each other. So the challenge for Linfield, who are the team for everyone else to go and catch, is to maintain their levels. You can't take your foot off the gas. There's other people investing behind you. There's other people pushing behind you. You have got to push your level up. You've got to step up, take responsibility. We touched on the experience of Jamie Mulgrew ahead of the game. He drove the team forward. Yes, he had the youth and the energy around about him, but to have that experience is vital in your camp.
And those 2 players there will be difficult men to replace, David.
Yes, they will. Of that there's no doubt. Shane Lavery has come home and very much used his time in the Irish League to reignite his career. Joel Cooper came home for different reasons. Delighted to hear that all of that has been solved and sorted, and he's going to go back to Oxford. But those are 2 young men who really have been shining examples to other young fellas, whether they be in England or Scotland, and things mightn't have gone as well, or they need to come back and kick on again. They've done phenomenally well. But for that young man there, what a superb example. How he has led his club and done ever so well. And there's an ironic picture. Naziri and Pepper, Glentoran last year, Linfield this year.
Well, Jamie Mulgrew, the captain, has helped his manager, David Healy, Northern Ireland's record goal scorer, winning a 2nd Irish Cup trophy for his club, Linfield. Was it the most complete performance of his managerial career? We shall find out. He's with Nicola.
David, was that the complete team performance?
I thought so. I thought we were outstanding tonight.
It was important to get around a team like Larne. I think we started the game in the manner that we wanted to finish the game. Say we had a few alterations in the setup. We played Larne on Saturday. We were disappointing at home. And again, Larne are an outstanding club. Credit to Kenny and everything that they're doing down out, Tiernan and the staff and the players. They've been immense this year, absolutely immense, and they deserved their opportunity in the final tonight. I just thought we were better than them tonight. Thought we were better all over. I thought if a couple of decisions had went our way tonight, we would have won more comfortably. But again, credit to these players, because again, they get written off. Myself as a manager, we get written off. I actually enjoy it. I actually get a buzz off it in a sad way at times. When you're written off, that the challenges of managing Linfield, the challenges are at any club, Linfield especially. Obviously, the big man in the studio knows about the pressures and the demands of the supporters, the board, and probably more importantly, the demands that you put on yourself. As I'm so immensely proud of the players tonight, the way they approached the game, played the game, managed the game, and eventually won the game.
And personally, another Irish Cup for you, David. Just what does it mean?
Probably not that much at the minute. It doesn't really sink in. You come out of the heat of battle and you enjoy the celebrations with the players. And I love the players. It's disappointing at times when you have to leave good players on the bench tonight and you have to leave people out of the squad. We lost Stevie Fallon, who's was our best player, I thought, on Tuesday night. Misses out tonight. Andy Waterworth had to leave before the game for personal reasons. I hope it goes well for Andy. So when you're sort of shaking, you arrive at the ground and you get the news that Andy's going to be, because Andy probably would have come on tonight and no doubt with the opportunity he probably would have scored. But as I say, the energy, the effort, the attitude, the application that the players put in tonight for not only me, the manager, and the rest of the staff. As I say, my staff have been incredible. We discussed, and you don't get long. You play the semi-final on Tuesday. You have basically 48 hours to not only recover, assess. There was a lot of talk about cup final going ahead and who you were going to play or whatever else. But we were prepared, and I think in our performance tonight, we got the right formation, we got the right players in the end, and we got the right result.
A point against Coleraine this Tuesday, and the league is yours also. What kind of confidence does this give you going into that game?
Listen, they should be a confident group of players, because I've said all along, they're so honest, they're so hard working. We were beaten up last year. We lost away to Queens, and we were beaten up, and probably rightly so, the performance and the result. But 90% of these same players or whatever else played here tonight. So they proved that it was a one-off. They proved with their character, their mentality, their toughness, which is difficult to play for Linfield at times. I know there's been a lack of supporters this year due to the pandemic and the COVID reasons. But there's a demand to play on this football club. I know Jamie's going to step in here after and say he not only epitomises everything about Linfield Football Club, his performance epitomised the way we wanted to perform tonight. And I thought he was. I think Joel got man of the match, but I thought Jamie was certainly in the mix anyway.
Thank you very much,
All
David.
right.
Congratulations. Jamie,
Right.
Can we have a chat with yourself?
Yeah.
Congratulations. Jamie, how proud are you of your team tonight?
Extremely proud. We possibly were very wounded after last Saturday. Knew that we probably didn't do ourselves justice. And obviously we bounced back extremely well on Tuesday night, and we knew that we would have to be on top of our game tonight. I think every single one of us looked like wounded animals. We were very, very hungry, with fire in the belly to win a trophy tonight, to give us a platform to possibly go on to do a double, and obviously to put ourselves as a squad and as a team in the long history of this successful football club. And as I say, we wanted to do that tonight, and I think we showed how hungry we were for it.
There were so many good performances across the pitch. Jamie, personally yourself, you know, you didn't stop. You must be very proud of your own personal performance, and I'm sure this means a lot to you.
No, absolutely. And I know that that's I feel that I need to do that. I'm the captain of this football club. I have to set an example. I have to set high standards. I put that pressure on myself, and as I say, we knew that every single one of us would have to perform like that tonight if we wanted to win this trophy.
And that you've done. We'll go and let you enjoy the celebrations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Congratulations, Jamie. Back to you, Stephen.
Well, the captain certainly did lead by example tonight. And Stephen, David, you could hear it in David Healy's words. You could see it in his demeanour. That was redemption for losing to Queens in the competition last year.
Of that, there is absolutely no doubt. I remember when Roy Coyle was my manager at Linfield, and it was a lesson that I learnt from him, that in adversity, when everyone is writing you off, turn it to your advantage. Make that be your weapon going forward. And certainly Brian and I did it during our time. David certainly did it tonight. And that was very much about we're putting to bed the last year against Queens.
And the celebrations, I'm sure, will be paused quite quickly, because there's a round of Irish League games coming up on Tuesday night, the penultimate round of fixtures with so much at stake.
And it's in Linfield's hands. You know, they've got to use the motivation from tonight, use that success from tonight, and understand that go to Coleraine, you know, come out of there without getting beat, and you're league champions. That will be the driving factor for David. And based on the last two performances I've witnessed this week, they'll absolutely do it.
For me, certainly Coleraine will be going right at Linfield, make no mistake. But now Linfield have got momentum, and as Stephen will know better than anybody, when you've got that little run of games, when you've got that confidence, and the same line will be said. Don't be choking now. Let's get ourselves over the line, and as it says in the Bible, let's finish the race. So that will be the message to the Linfield players. Don't get carried away until it's done. Don't talk about what you're going to do. Talk about what you've done.
Yeah, lots to look forward to, lots at stake, of course. And we have lots more football for you to enjoy here on BBC Northern Ireland. Sports Sound tomorrow on BBC Radio Ulster. We'll have a special programme there. And then Coleraine against Linfield is live on the iPlayer this Tuesday at 7:30. Could be a title decider. Perhaps not. Could go to the last game of the season. Cliftonville Linfield is live on Saturday the 29th of May from 5:15 on BBC Two. The programme includes the presentation of the Gibson Cup. Thanks to Stephen, thanks to David. As for the Irish Cup, Linfield have won it for a record 44th time. From all of us here, it's bye-bye.